Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Here.
Councilwoman McCarthy?
Here.
Councilwoman Rahay?
Here.
Councilwoman Miller?
Here.
Councilwoman Inzarella?
Here. This resolution is to be on. Okay. Second reading for Parade Run Walk of Kings Park High School. Second reading for Parade Run Walk for Hop Park High School. And the second reading for Parade Run Walk for Smithtown High School East. Anybody wish to be heard for or against the granting of those permits? Public hearings of Town Board to consider proposed amendments to Chapter 322 of the Code of Town, Smithtown, entitled Zoning.
Good afternoon, Supervisor Vecchio and members of the Town Board. My name is David Flynn. I'm the Town Planning Director. The purpose of the public hearing is to get public comment on a proposed amendment to the zoning ordinance. The ordinance amendment has been prepared and recommended by the Planning Department, and it deals with outdoor storage in the light industrial district and other districts as well. The purpose of the amendment is twofold. One is to make the town more competitive economically with other towns with respect to industrial land uses. And then on the other hand, to protect the quality of life and the property values in the residential parts of the town. The method of achieving the objectives is to better regulate outdoor storage. Currently, it's permitted as a matter of right in two industrial zoning districts, WSI and heavy industry. The recommendation is to permit it by special exception in the light industrial district. But there are two other components that I am recommending. One is that the list of prohibited uses be expanded to include certain kinds of outdoor storage, such as anything that attracts vermin or insects, anything where wind or water could allow the storage to leave the property or impact other properties, anything that would cause fumes or dust, things like that. And then the third component is that any outdoor storage that exists at the present time would need to cease or to be ceased unless it gets site plan approval. So between those three legs of the tripod, hopefully the town would be in a better position in the future to protect its residents while at the same time facilitating industrial businesses.
Question, why
Sure.
would you do it by special exception?
The reason is that it would happen on a case-by-case basis where in some situations the use should perhaps not be permitted. Maybe the property is too small, maybe the buffer is too small or something along those lines, so that rather than having a blanket approval, it would be approved on a case-by-case basis.
In the case-by-case meaning, the type of storage?
Well, someone would apply to the Board of Appeals for special exception for outdoor storage, let's just say of structural steel. Let's just say it's a steel company in the industrial park. Everything, once they go to the hearing and they provide evidence of what they propose to do, or perhaps what they're legalizing, what they're already doing, if everyone finds that it's in the best interest of the public, everyone, I should say the Board of Zoning Appeals, if the board finds that it's in the best interest of the public to approve this, they approve it. If someone else comes in and perhaps they want to store used dumpsters, and there's concern about attracting insects and the odors and the like, then perhaps that would not be approved.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else, anybody wish to be heard on this matter? If not, I'll move to close the hearing.
Second.
Thank you.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilwoman Miller?
Yes.
Councilwoman Israeli?
Yes.
Advertisements for public hearing, town board to authorize the clerk to advertise for public hearing to be held at Town Hall, room 99 West Main Street, on Smithtown, New York, on Tuesday, September 6th, at 2 p.m. to consider proposed amendments to Chapter 322 of the Town Code entitled zoning.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilwoman Miller?
Yes.
Councilwoman Israeli?
Yes.
Town board to authorize the clerk to advertise for public hearing to be held at the Town of Smithtown Town Hall, 99 West Main Street, on Tuesday, September 6th, at 2 p.m. to consider proposed local law number 2 of 2016, amending Chapter 207 of the Code entitled Noise.
Councilwoman Israeli?
Yes.
Councilwoman Miller?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes. Town board to authorize the clerk to advertise for public hearing to be held at 2 p.m. on Tuesday, September 6th, at Town Hall, to consider the town's entry into certain real property located at 262 Mount Pleasant Road, reputedly owned by the estate of Alfonso R. Bernard Jr., for the purpose of removing the declining, structurally unsound oak tree at the subject site in violation of Chapter 221 of the Town Code.
Councilwoman Israeli?
Yes.
Councilwoman Miller?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor
Hi,
Vecchio?
Tommy.
Under resolutions, the town board authorized the town clerk to advertise for the following bids to be returned at Town Hall, 99 West Main Street, Smithtown, New York, at 11 a.m. on the dates indicated. Infield grooming machine, August 25th. Handicap accessible curb cuts and ramps, September 1st. Mulch bagging system, August 25th. Truck combination vacuum sewer jet body, September 1st. And rental of coach buses, August 25th, all the calendar year 2016.
Councilwoman Israeli?
Yes.
Councilwoman Miller?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes.
Item number 2, the town board to award the following bids and to authorize the purchase of the associated goods and services as per 2A through D. Communication equipment to Holtzberg Communications, Inc., full depth road reclamation to Intercounter Pavings, printing of annual recycling calendar to R&J Graphics, and partial award of RFP 16-050 for maintenance and repair of physical systems to LFG Systems.
Councilwoman Israeli?
Yes.
Councilwoman Miller?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes.
Item number 3, the town board to approve the following. 3, be 1, town board regular minutes meeting, July 12, 2016 at 2 p.m. And then B through P, rescind resolution 2016-746. Amend resolution of 2016-708. Town board to approve levy of the costs and expenses as per D. The Environmental Department of Waterways to prepare and to supervise a signed letter of intent of application to New York State Environmental Facilities, the Clean Vessel Program Act. F, town board to authorize town attorney to prefer CSEA charges regarding section 75. G, adoption of the amended town of Smithtown anti-harassment policy. H, stipulation of settlement in the matter of New York State Office of Children and Family Services. I, modification of the community development program. J, rescission of resolution 2016-576. K, sale of surplus town equipment of the Traffic Safety Department. L, amendment to the agreement with the Civil Service Employee Union. M, authorize the town board to determine that the Meadow Road Drainage Project is exempt from zoning as for reasons stated in memorandum by the Planning Director of August 4, 2016. Town board hereby declares certain real property located at 35 Shenandoah Boulevard in Smithtown, New York, to be section lot and block number in the estates of DeMarco in violation of Chapter 221-4A4 Code of the Town of Smithtown. O, agreement of 2016, amendment to 2016 highway program to add certain avenues and streets. P, amendment to 2016 highway program to remove certain streets.
Councilwoman Israeli?
Yes.
Councilwoman Miller?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes.
Item number 4, the town board to do study and deliberation of subject record to issue secret and negative declarations on the following as before A, B, C, and D. Transfer density flow rights, application for transfer density flow rights, application for site plan approval of PJ Venture, and application for site plan approval of New York SMSA.
Councilwoman Anzarella?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noah?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor?
yes,
Item number 5, the town board to authorize the acceptance of the following as per 5A donation.
Councilwoman Anzarella?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noah?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor?
yes,
Item number 6, the town board to authorize the release of the following as per 6A and B, cash in lieu of performance bond and performance bonds.
Councilwoman Anzarella?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noah?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchia?
yes,
Item number 7, the town board to authorize the controller to execute the following as per 7A through E. These are multiple transfers and increase in revenue codes.
Councilwoman Anzarella?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noah?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchia?
yes,
Town Board to authorize supervisor to execute the following on form approved by the town attorney as 8A through E. Purchase of general codes, Laserfish, extension of agreements, and agreement, easement agreements, and extension of intermunicipal agreement, Town of Brookhaven. Councilwoman Anzarella?
Yes.
Councilwoman Norwood?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchia?
yes,
Item number 9, town board to approve settlement in the following matters by recommendation of the town attorney as per 9A for the amount of $98.05.
Councilwoman Anzarella?
Yes.
Councilwoman Norwood?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchia?
yes,
Item number 10, the town board to approve the following personnel matters as per 10A through I, part-time appointments, salary change in title and salary change, and full-time appointment, all per the printed agenda.
Councilwoman Anzarella?
Yes.
Councilwoman Norwood?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchia?
yes,
Let's do one read-on before we go to traffic. New York State Department of Health and Commerce Systems and Pure Place Data Systems, appointment of Laura Grief to the Town of Smithtown's designee for the Director of New York State Department of Health Commerce System, HCS.
Councilwoman Anzarella?
Yes.
Councilwoman Norwood?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchia?
yes,
And traffic, the town board to authorize the following amendments to the Uniform Traffic Code and to authorize the Traffic Safety Department to install the necessary signs as per Schedule A and B, all per the printed agenda.
Councilwoman Anzarella?
Yes.
Councilwoman Norwood?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchia?
yes,
Want to do site plans, or want to do-
yeah, please.
Okay, move on to the site plan agendas, items.
Okay.
Okay. Town Board Site Plan Review of minutes of June 7, 2016. We have site plan review resolutions, items 1, 2, 3, and 4. Conditionally approved site plan for KP Associates. Conditionally approved site plan application for 240 Vanderbilt Parkway. Conditionally approved site plan application by Verizon Wireless. And conditionally approved site plan as for PJ Venture.
Councilwoman Anzarella?
Yes.
Councilwoman Norwood?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchia?
Yes. Wishing to be heard, Kevin Rooney, Smithtown Bay Yacht Club. Is he also signed in? Okay, I have it. Mr. Mike Kozowski.
Supervisor Vecchio, members of the board. My name is Mike Kozerski. I reside at 53A Claremont Avenue in St. James. I'm also the Commodore of Smithtown Bay Yacht Club. For the past few years, club members and all other Smithtown boaters have become increasingly concerned about the potential tragedy of a boater in distress out in the bay or sound during the low tide period when emergency personnel might not be able to reach them. As Mr. Barnett recently noted in a Newsday article, I quote, "If there was a medical emergency out in Smithtown Bay, it would be virtually impossible to get back into the dock for about 2 hours on either side of low tide," end quote. We absolutely agree with his conclusion. If boaters in distress can't get back in and out, if boaters in distress can't get in and emergency personnel can't get out, then public safety is jeopardized and lives may well hang in the balance. This is simply unacceptable. We recognize that getting the dredging done will not be easy and understand that there are various environmental concerns which must be addressed. But as difficult as this may be, pales in comparison with your primary obligation as town officials to protect the health and safety of your constituents. We ask that you undertake the most strenuous effort possible with the Suffolk DPW to move this project forward in the most expeditious manner and we gladly offer our support and assistance to make this channel dredging happen. And when it does happen, close to 1,000 town voters will enthusiastically thank you for your efforts on their behalf. Thank you.
Mr. Kay,
Sorry.
I think it might be wise for those of you who want to channel dredge to take your case to the Suffolk County Legislature. All dredging is done by the County of Suffolk.
Right,
if you
well,
make a
Kevin
point
will
there-
be speaking next, he's more informed on what we are going to the next level.
Okay,
Trying to
great.
settle
Thank
things.
you.
Thank you.
Robert Demousti's?
Kevin Rooney first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Good afternoon, Supervisor Vecchio, members of the town board. My name is Kevin Rooney, and since 1970, I have lived at 5 Samuel Street in Nesconset. For the past 30 years, I have also been a member of the Smithtown Bay Yacht Club, and I am proud to serve on its board of governors. For many years, I owned a 22-foot sailboat and participated in the weekly inter-club races out in the Sound between Smithtown, Stony Brook, and Kings Park, where on any given Wednesday, dozens and dozens of sailboats would be out there racing. These races are now a thing of the past, as it has become impossible for sailboats to enter or exit Smithtown Bay except at high tide. In fact, I counted them the other day, there are only 5 sailboats left in both the town marina, town moorings, and the yacht club. Now, while no one should be particularly concerned as to whether or not there are sailboat races out on the Sounds on Wednesday night, it begs the question of why. For all of the time that I have been a boater, exiting or entering the Smithtown Bay Channel has been an ongoing problem. Today, however, it is no longer simply a transit problem or navigational hazard. Due to decades of inaction and inattention by the Suffolk County DPW, it is now a serious public safety hazard which increases exponentially every day that the problem remains unaddressed. Navigation charts for Smithtown Bay, which are attached, show a low water depth of between 4 and 5 feet. But as any boater will tell you, that is a joke, when we all know that low tide depths in the channel are oftentimes a foot or less. Town officials, from the supervisor to Environment and Waterways Director Russ Barnett, must be commended for their persistence in repeatedly requesting that the county DPW prioritize the dredging of this channel. But to date, these persistent entreaties appear to have fallen on deaf ears. We are also cognizant of the fact that the town will have to amend a number of existing policies and ordinances incorporated into its own local Waterfront Revitalization Act in order to lay the groundwork for the possibility of such dredging. Amending local ordinances is oftentimes a difficult task, but I refuse to accept that the challenge is insurmountable if the town government is fully committed to making those changes necessary to achieve a far greater good. In this regard, and in compliance with Objective 1 of the draft outline of the proposed Town Waterfront Revitalization Program revisions designed to enhance community involvement and outreach, we respectfully request that a designee of the Smithtown Bay Yacht Club be named to the Waterfront Advisory Committee. If the much-needed dredging of this critical channel is ultimately to happen, the town must forcefully present and fully document its case before the County Dredge Project Screening Committee. As DPW Commissioner Anderson stated in recent correspondence with one of your constituents, and I quote, and it's attached, "The town must verify the public purpose for this work as well as identify the area within Smithtown Bay being requested to be dredged. The information must include the proposed channel layout, detailing length, width, depth, coordinates of said location, sediment cores in accordance with NISEC requirements, as well as documentation providing a final disposal site for the material dredged. The town must provide this information along with any aerial photo, map, or site plan to further detail the proposed dredging," end quote. Furthermore, in order to lay to rest concerns that limited dredging of the Bay Channel may have adverse impacts on either Stony Brook or Porpoise channels during periods of high tide. The hydrographic survey proposed but stalled in 2002 needs to be completed. Only then will the adjacent villages and towns, the county, the DEC, and all interested parties be able to determine at what specific point restrictions to tidal flow actually occur, and thus be able to determine whether or not the requirement for a negative declaration of adverse environmental impacts required under SECRA can be met. In conjunction with the Stony Brook Yacht Club, we have requested the county executive, the DPW commissioner, and the chair of the Dredge Project Screening Committee, that's legislator Al Krupski, expeditiously consider and prioritize the dredging of the Smithtown Bay Channel, as the town has also requested. As both residents and boaters, we stand ready to do anything we can to support the town's efforts in this regard. But the simple fact of the matter is that the ball is now in your court to do what is needed to make dredging the Smithtown Bay Channel a reality, and once it is dredged, to have it placed on a regular 5-year dredging schedule. As I have said repeatedly, an unforeseen medical or other event at low tide is a tragedy simply waiting to happen. On behalf of all boaters, residents of the town of Smithtown, I beg you not to let this happen. And on a personal note, it's good to see you back on your feet again, Pat.
Thank you. Ms. Roney,
Be pleased to answer any questions
could
you
you
have.
tell me what your, the results were for after your appearance before the county legislature?
I've met and talked to the chair of the Dredge Project Screening Committee, that's Al Krupski. I've had conversations with the presiding officer of the legislature. We have correspondence with DPW Commissioner Gil Anderson. And once the town has provided the information that DPW is requesting, then he will bring it to the Dredge Project Screening Committee. But the point I wanted to make here, Supervisor Vecchio, is that absent an absolute and total commitment from the town, this will end up back in limbo, exactly where the effort led in 2002 by then legislator Noack and legislator Krecker to try to get this dredged. It's gone on too long. It really just needs to be done, and the town needs to present its case to the county as forcefully as possible. And whatever you do, rest assured, we will solidly back you up.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
James Keane.
Good afternoon. My name is James Keane. I reside at 26 Galahad Lane. I'm also the Chief of Department for the Nesconset Fire Department. The Nesconset Fire Department is the water rescue scuba team for the entire Smithtown area. We're made up of members from different departments. And I'm just here today to speak about what we spoke about before, the outer channel of Smithtown Bay and our concerns with low tide. We respond out from where the harbor master location is, and low tide, we're not going to be able to get out, and we won't be able to help people. Our other concern is canoeing and kayaking seems to be a growing industry, and if you go down to Long Beach or Short Beach, you see tons of people there. So the life hazard is there. People are out there in the water. Our concern is that an incident is going to happen and we're not going to be able to get out to help them. So we just ask, on behalf of the water rescue team, that you guys fully support this and keep on it. That's it.
Well, we certainly do, and we've sent numerous letters on everybody's behalf
Okay.
for the dredging. So you do have our support. Is there something additional that we need to do as a town board?
Just
Then we'll
continue to
it.
do what they had mentioned, Mr. Rooney had mentioned.
Sure.
Get that information over to the county.
Yep.
So we could get this moving along quick, because it is a big concern.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Robert Demusis?
Good afternoon, Supervisor Vecchio. Glad to see you back, and
Thank
glad
you.
to see that you're feeling well. And members of the board. I'm here today representing the Smithtown Township Fire Chiefs Council. The president had asked me to come and speak in reference to the same topic, which is the dredging of the outer channel. Basically, our concerns are it's becoming extremely dangerous, as Chief Keene has indicated, which could cause us a delay in response, as well as possibly not make a response whatsoever, which is really concerning as the public responders for the public here in the Township of Smithtown. Presently, our procedures are that any water incident that may happen east of the Nessequag River, our response policies townwide as a mutual aid are to respond to the Long Beach Marina, where we would launch our vessels at that point, go out through that channel to make whatever rescues, first aid, or whatever may happen. Well, obviously, that's putting our first responders at serious risk and jeopardy. Okay. We don't want our residents to have a problem. We're very concerned about our first responders. So in addition, we ask you guys to do everything possible, okay? And we will speak to the county legislators, which we plan on doing. In addition to that, we've already sent letters to County Exec Malone with our concerns. So if you could, please make every effort to support your local fire service here in this township and your first responders. We really need that done. Okay? I have a letter here from the Chiefs Council with copies also that copies of the letter that we sent to Executive Malone.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Did you get any response from the county executive or the DPW?
Our first portion of this initiative was we listened to
Mr.
Rooney make a presentation to us the other night. We have been talking about this over some time.
Yeah.
The article in the paper obviously spurred some of the interest for us because of a concern for us. So this is our first real initiative, was a letter to you people as well as the county exec. You know, we feel that you are our support. You're our eyes, you're our ears, and we need you to really force the issue for us.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Rooney,
There's 5 of them.
in your statement here, it's a portion that's in italics that you want the board to convey. Is that correct?
The part that is highlighted in the attachment, or?
It's in italics.
Yes, that's the quote from
Okay,
Commissioner Anderson of
Okay.
DPW. And actually, I'm looking at a letter that we received on July 19th in response to the letter we sent to Legislator Krupski, where he outlines the same requirements. And he says here, and I'm quoting, "Pursuant to the county charter, Suffolk County can only undertake a dredge project when that project request is brought to the county by a town within whose boundary the water body existed." And then he goes and lists the same information that he needs from the town.
Okay.
So once the town has provided that to DPW, then we can go work the other side of the street, so to speak, and
yeah, we'll
talk
be
to the
on
county.
that. We'll be on that. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Mr. McCarthy informs me that our DEW director wants to do a joint letter or application with Brookhaven. So that may be helpful with both towns, okay?
And Mr. Vecchio, we've also been talking to some of the Brookhaven fire chiefs. Stony Brook, I was on the phone just the other day with them. They're very concerned also.
I'm sure they'll support our efforts, okay?
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else here?
No.
Okay, that concludes the meeting, so I'll move to close it.
Second.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack?
Yes.
Councilwoman Inzarella?
Yes.